Wrestling Edition. Okay, we are here. I think we're here. Let me see if I can. Yep. I got myself. I can hear myself.
Hello.
You too.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we in here.
Okay, calm
we got
down.
some. We got some channel mascots over here. So let me go. Bless you. And bless you to the special guest referee. Of course, when we first start filming, that's how it always goes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the most must-see wrestling review and live reaction show in all the land. I'm talking about A and B Combos.
Wrestling Edition.
I got some channel mascots here. If you don't know, let me go ahead and introduce the channel mascots because they got no kind of chill. They always want their snacks, and they don't like to wait. So
They really don't.
oh my gosh. The original channel mascot, she is the Shih Tzu Terrier of Terror, weighing in at 15 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one and only Little Fluff Ball, Bone Crusher! Our other channel mascot, she is a Golden Doodle mix. Come over here, Stella. Try to come over. She is 25 pounds. Give it up for Stella, the Storyteller Rose! Except for the channel mascots. Good gracious. They got no kind of chill. The sad thing is, Stella whoops down hers and then she goes after Bone Crushers, and it's just not right.
Thank
Bone
you,
Crusher likes
Sophie
to
Dophy. Thank you, movie
savor
queen.
it. And, you know, the dog just ain't having it. What's going on, everybody? It's good to see you guys for Monday Night Raw review. So,
yes, my ref shirt is in honor of Bianca Belair and that fly outfit that she had on. Ooh-wee.
it's OG colors.
Never seen nobody make the ref outfit look that good. Come on,
I think
Bianca.
that should be the absolute official for both men and women. Okay, exactly.
Vera
what,
DeMilo.
because the if y'all don't know,
If y'all don't know what Vera DeMilo is.
because that you're dressed, you're ready to rock and roll at a moment's notice. People put their hands on the refs all the time.
All the time.
Okay, as we saw in this matchup, which we will get to, but hands were laid.
Laid. The smack it, down it.
Okay, hands were laid. That's the reality of the situation. We got the OG, triple OG right here. Thank you very much, Sophie Dophy. Please make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button, smash it, rack it, and stack it.
Yes.
In
So let me
fact-
give a shout out to the mods, or you want to do something else first?
Yeah, no. You're good. I'm going to. I got the overlay. Let me see. Do I want the overlay?
Who you gonna
Yeah,
lay?
there we go.
What you gonna lay?
Well, okay, you know what?
This is a family show, man.
If you all wouldn't mind, but smashing that, just go ahead.
Oh, now we smashing stuff. Come on, man.
Go ahead and
This is a
smash
family
that
show.
like button. Subscribe to the channel. We appreciate y'all so much. All right, go ahead, lay it out. Who's up
Let
in
me
here?
give shout outs to the mods in the house. Go JB24
'Cause you got to put the foe on it.
Yes. The Teflon Don, the mod father. How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Darcy Chatham, our newest mod, is up in the house.
What's going on, Darcy?
Sophie Dophy, the OG, triple OG, is in the
that's right.
house.
I know that's right.
Yes. Let's see. Do we have any other mods in the house? There's a lot of mods up in here. Yeah. Samantha Poole, just dropping by to say hello.
You're.
You won't be in a chat tonight. Why?
All right, well then you're not gonna get the full year.
Okay.
You're getting the year. I can't even give it a full year.
She at least stopped by to give us some love.
All right.
Yep. And then let's see. I
You're
think
watching it now. I mean, we could put it on.
we
'cause
could put it on
it's
and watch
over.
it in the background. We've seen it already, but it
It's
wouldn't.
over, but it's not gonna hurt.
But we could put it on again.
Not gonna hurt.
It's not gonna hurt.
We'll go because it's so technically Raw starts at 5, the normal time for Raw. So we'll go an hour and 10 minutes into the future of Monday Night Raw. Raw, the interesting thing is, and thank goodness they're coming back to home base next week. Because I got to tell you, 12 o'clock
It's not the business.
it is not the business for those that have a day job.
Absolutely.
Now, we want this to be our full-time day job.
But right now,
it just,
First of all, it will be our full-time day job. Let's just fix that right there.
But the reality
it's not
is that could not happen. So we really enjoy watching along with everybody. That's our preference. But,
yeah, for sure.
We did watch the show. And we're here to give our rating and hot take. But we're going to go ahead and lay it out. This is the Monday Night Raw review, the last Monday Night Raw of March, of the last day of March.
We should fast forward it 11 minutes in so it's on the same. Oh, no, because we're just now starting it. If anybody else wants to start it up, we could have it on in the background.
No, I said I'm going to go an hour and 10 minutes in.
Oh, an hour and 10 minutes in. Okay, we're going to go an hour and 10 minutes in. Okay, what's up with my phone? Also, let me give a shout out to the member up in here, Wesley Franklin. Always a pleasure,
Always
Wesley.
a pleasure, Wesley. Always a pleasure. So we're going to go an hour into the future of Monday Night Raw, an hour and 12 minutes. And there was a lot that happened. I think it was a pretty decent Raw, if you ask me. We're almost there. And we got the mods, we got the members, we got everybody.
We got the mods and the members, so you could go back and get the first in line.
First in line.
Oh, M-Pound. M-Pound Cake 82 is now here. Now I want some pound cake. What's up?
I told you it makes me hungry. First in line with that fast pass, none other than Tyrell Breed, Black Panther Gaming. What's up, AMB? We acknowledge you. What is going on, my man? Good to see you.
What's going on?
Good to see you. So we've got hang on, I want to make sure that we got the right. Hang on, because I want to make sure we're in the right Raw. While we're doing that, let me go ahead and, because I don't think he wrestled. This might be last week. No, I don't think this
is from tonight.
Yeah, this is last week. So
let me
go ahead and back out of that. Let me go ahead and give the shouts, and then we're going to get into Monday Night Raw. We got Tyrell Breed, Black Panther Gaming. We got WC Zone. Good to see you.
What's up?
W Nostalgic is in the house. Jacob.
Hey.
Good to see you, my friend.
Hey, Jacob, hey,
Rick RT is over here. Good to see you, Rick.
Rick RT.
Michael is still rocking with us. Thank you for rolling with us, Michael. We got 850.
Hey,
Big boy up in the house. What's good, 850? That's what I'm talking about. Justin Murphy is over here. And, of course, the one and only movie queen who loves her.
Oh, thank you, movie queen. And how you doing, Marks by Wrestling?
That's why they call her Becky with the good hair.
Becky with the good hair.
Let me go ahead and see streamed Raw. And I believe I got that right there. I think that's the correct one. Justin Holland Crane. And it's no why it's not pulling up the right one. But that's neither here nor there. You should get some YEET tattoos. Oof. Yeah, I don't know if she'll do that.
Well, we got some people from overseas, from UK up in here.
That's what I'm talking about. You all must have been thrilled and elated to finally have the big show in your backyard so you can watch it during your time zone, because the time zones are no joke. No joke. What up, Aaron Teagle? Good to see you. Fareed Saheed. Let me see who else we got in here. Mr. Quake. Yes, sir.
Hey, Mr. Quake.
Michael Blackson wannabe. That's funny.
That is funny.
All right. Will Ralasport 1 from the UK, Great Britain.
You've been in here before,
yes,
I believe.
Indeed.
We've seen you before. Yes. How you doing?
Yes, indeed. Marked by Wrestling. That's what I'm talking about. That's family right there. Okay, he did a live watch along earlier today. We were all up in the chat. It's interesting because now we see from your perspective, watching the show and being in the chat, that takes some getting used to. And we had, we were working. She had appointments, so we were in and out. But thank you, Mark by Wrestling.
Yes.
You had a really good stream, and thank you for being in ours right now. I want to hear what everybody has to say. I want to talk about it. I'm caught up in the chat.
Hey, Aaron Teagle.
I'm caught up in the chat. Let's just get into it. We're not going to take up too much of your time. Not going to take up too much of your time, man. And if you miss anything, just let us know.
We acknowledge you too, Wilfredo.
Just let us know. So, Raw kicked off. John Cena.
Man.
Now, before I say this, as a quick reminder, we did our podcast this past weekend with none other than Mark by Wrestling. We talked about some things. We talked about this so-called road to WrestleMania, or is it WrestleLamia? I don't know. But we talked about I want Mr. John Cena a little bit, and I'm going to tell you, we
No,
basically
Marked by
said, look,
Wrestling.
if you're going to come out week after week after week and just drop some, whatever promos, I'm going to need a little more. I need a little physicality. Well, we finally got it.
I mean,
We finally got it.
Yeah. So, well, first of all, the little physicality was fine. It was fine. I thought it was, so overall, I thought both promos were fire.
Fire.
Anytime you got me in the car going, woo, like, you know what I mean? Like to myself about your comments. And Cody I feel like Cody is trying to push it with his promos. I feel like he's trying to push it with his promos because he was called mid, because, they were starting to say he was boring. So I think that's why he's putting so much edge on it. Because he's coming out the
Cody
pocket
Rhodes.
with some of these, some of these comments. But
Call him a piece of dookie.
But I will say that when he said that at least nobody has said to me, you can't wrestle.
You can wrestle.
I thought John Cena was, the pot calling the kettle black when he was talking about being chosen and being given everything and protected, because ain't nobody more, that's not more true of anybody than John Cena. But then when Cody said that, I'm like, bro, you can't wrestle either, bro. Neither one of you can wrestle.
He can wrestle.
I mean,
he can wrestle.
So can John Cena to that degree. They're not, neither one of them are great
he's got some
technical
moves.
wrestlers. Let's be real.
He's got some moves.
I'm glad that he connected on that Cody Cutter. John Cena sold the heck out of it, but it wasn't the best Cody Cutter ever did. But no, I thought it was great.
Yeah, they indirectly mentioned Vince, all right. Yeah, they did some things
loved that.
in this promo. They went there, and let me tell you, I love it when you have a promotion, a promo that is cut by a wrestler that just puts a little bit of, you know what I mean? Just a little bit of real life. Like you aren't cutting just a totally fictional promo. You're using real life stuff.
Pushing it.
You know what I mean? And we're getting just enough. Now, I said this. I said, we're going to get into the Netflix era. I don't know what this is going to look like. Triple H said we're going to keep it PG, whatever. They did a lot of raunch back in the Attitude Era. AEW, it's just lawlessness. So I said, if we can find a nice balance, right. and we're getting that. We're getting a little bit of grit. You know what I mean? For Cody to call John Cena a piece of dookie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he didn't use that word. He didn't use that word. The first super chat of the night, starting off right, none other than by Marked by Wrestling. Woo-hoo. Anybody calling Cody mid from here on out, I'm sending Ivan Gunther after them. Nah. Just saying. I'm just saying. That's the reality of the situation.
Nobody wants Vince back. I'm so sorry. You'll never get anyone in here to agree with you on that, other than 3 Diglets, who I do not believe is here.
I appreciate that super chat, Marked by Wrestling. Sheboygan in the building. Sheboygan in the building. Oh, Sheboygan. Bring some of the true stuff to it. Yeah, this is what you need to do, especially the true stuff that we know about. I mean, obviously, there's stuff we, the fans, will never know about, the inside stuff, which they will do.
Right.
They will absolutely do. Now, I loved it how Cena says, I'm not going to cook you because everybody expected it.
Right.
He said, I'm going to bury you because you're mid, because you're basic, because you're not on my level, son.
Yeah, but Cody's comebacks were pretty strong. I mean,
loved it.
I loved it. And so, It was good. It was good. And I love that Cody was like, and people are scared of you on the mic, and that's all you had. I ain't scared of you. Like,
But they got
everything
physical.
about it. And then they got physical, right?
And they needed to get physical. I said this. I said they absolutely have to get some physicality going in here. But I also said,
I hope that's not true, Soapy Dopey.
I also said, this is fine. I think this might be the last we see of Cena
No, I don't want to hear that.
for a few weeks until Mania. But I also said we need The Rock mixed up in here. And I don't know if we're going to see him until Mania. I cannot imagine him not being involved in this in any way, shape, or form, because he was literally, and I said this in Mark by Wrestling's stream earlier, he was literally the catalyst for all of this.
Yeah.
So it just feels,
Teflon, you
to
tripping.
use the story, it feels unfinished without The Rock.
Yeah, you tripping. Everybody who's still saying Cody is mid, you're not watching what we're watching. Because Cody has stepped it up ever since he got into it with KO. He has stepped it up. Cody Raheem Rhodes is not mid. No. He is bringing it on the mic. He is bringing it in the ring. He is hitting people before they finish their sentences sometimes.
Yeah.
He is everything he needs to be. He's edgy now. He's saying whatever he wants to say whenever he wants to say it. There's nothing more he could possibly do to be more over as a face than what he's already doing, pushing the line, cussing at people, doing everything that he's doing. And so there was nothing mid about his comeback to John tonight. And I think at this point, like, you could think what you want to think, but I think if you're still calling him mid, it's because you're either not paying attention or you hate him so much you just don't want to pay attention. The same way that everybody want to hate on Roman all those years, and now that he's gone, people want to be all sad about it because they realize how good he really was and how good he really is. It is what it is. Like, Cody is the star for a reason. And the same people who are hating on him are probably the same people who were hating on John Cena all that time. Cena sucks are the same people who's talking mess about Cody. So that's, in my opinion, that just doesn't make no kind of sense.
Teflon said, you use his full government name. I mean, why you gotta do him, why you gotta do him like that? Mark by Wrestling with another super chat right there. Come on, Mark by Wrestling. This is what I'm talking about. Cody channeled brother Bernie to Cena. Y'all don't understand. I ain't scared of you, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. You ain't never lied. But I love it. Look, these are two guys who are absolutely boss on the mic. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Their in-ring skills, I mean, it is what it is. You are now at a point where you're pretty much neck and neck, toe to toe, eye to eye, nose to nose. This is what it is. I'm really curious to see how this is going to play out over the next few weeks. If Cena really is not going to be on television again, it kind of sucks because I hate to see Cody just kind of carry this thing. The last thing I want to see is Cody come out over the next 3 weeks just cutting a promo after promo
by
after
himself.
Promo. You know what I mean?
By himself, right.
That's really going to bum me out because out of sight, out of mind kind of a thing. You're simmering right now.
Yeah.
I know Mark Barras like to talk about get your plate. We all going to eat. Well, look, we cooking. We got this on the stove, and then over the next few weeks, you just turning down the heat.
And just walking away.
And just walking away and just letting this thing, like this water is boiling.
Right.
And now you turning it down to a, what's this?
Right. You're supposed to turn it up on the way to WrestleMania, not down. So I really hope that's not the end of it. If it is, he better come out on social media or have some on the Tron, something.
I like the fact that Cody said, I didn't sell out to The Rock. So you mentioned him.
What was that?
You mentioned him. It's just a thing. But you mentioned him. So again, this says to me that he has to be involved in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure what they're going to do. But our podcast, because we mentioned that earlier, we filmed it this past weekend. It drops tomorrow. For the members, you all get that video only for the members. You get the full video of the podcast. Everybody else, you can hear Jimmy. You can listen to Jimmy and you can hear Jimmy on all streaming platforms everywhere. We talk about some things.
Wilfredo, what exactly is wrong with Triple H's booking? What is it you think he should have booked? And the fact that The Rock and Cena are not available to come out as often isn't Triple H's fault, but the audience that both of them bring to the brand when they come is worth it, even though they should be doing more on the back end. So you can't show up out every day because you guys are both mega stars, but y'all have social media. Last year, The Rock was all over social media promoting his fight against Cody. There's no reason he shouldn't be doing that again this year, unless he's trying to not outstage Cena, but then Cena should step his ass up and do more.
Easy.
So at the end of the day, I think that it is what it is. Hey, Michael Tolbert, how are you?
What up, Michael Tolbert? Good to see you, my friend. Let me see. What else do we got up in here?
There was one more super chat by Mark by Wrestling, which was hilarious.
All right, let me see what we got. Mark, wait. After the I Ain't Scared of You Bernie one?
No, that was it. You read that already?
I did.
You read both of them?
Yeah.
Oh.
She is not well.
I am not well. Don't mind me.
Well. Yeah, look, Cena's face when he mentioned The Rock, I mean, it was what it was. Like I said, The Rock was the catalyst for this. He was the final boss, the guy that finally made somebody who refused to turn heel for 20 years turn heel.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me that he's not going to be involved in WrestleMania in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't make sense. You interjected yourself into this, homeboy.
Yeah.
You're the one that went to Cody Rhodes and said, I want your soul. Like, you did all that. You did the this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you started something between them, but then you just walk away. This was about you. You sicked John Cena on him, so you should be out there making appearances just the same. You shouldn't just be behind the scenes.
And it's the other thing.
Yeah.
He had I saw it on his, I believe his Instagram. The Rock was on his way to, I believe it was Texas. You have his football league. It was going to have their season 2 debut. Something happened to the plane. He had to turn back around and go back to the big island of Hawaii, right? So he was apologizing and yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. You got your phone in your hand,
right,
bruh. You can clearly say, do you feel me? We're 3 weeks out.
Yeah, you used it last year all up in there.
All up in there like an enema. I said what I said. We're 3 weeks out from WrestleMania, and we ain't got near a promo from him yet. And so I am hoping over the next few weeks we get at least that much. I don't think that's asking too much because I know things are cooking. I cannot wait for them to come back into the States. I thought this is overall a pretty good Raw, and we're going to get into some more stuff. Freudian
well,
stuff. No,
and here's the thing. I don't think it's fair to compare this WrestleMania to last year's WrestleMania because last year's WrestleMania was magic. And there were so many factors that fell into place that made it something completely different where the audience changed the narration of what was going on and you involved these huge stars going back and forth and the press conferences and everything that was happening. We're not going to get that every year. And Triple H booked that. So you can't say Triple H isn't as good because this year's WrestleMania is not as good as last year's WrestleMania. He did last year's WrestleMania. Vince was already gone. He didn't have nothing to do with that. So of course, it's not as good as last year. I mean, we haven't seen it yet, but the buildup is not quite as good as last year. I'm personally loving the Seth CM Punk and Roman thing. I would have preferred to just see Roman and Seth, to be honest with you, but I like how distracted Seth is with CM Punk. But you'll hear all about that on our podcast tomorrow.
That is dropping.
But if we go on to the next segment,
well, let's talk about that because it was your boys. It was your boys, the New Day. Okay, now we're talking about the New Day taking on the reformed New Catch Republic, and I loved it.
Yeah, I actually didn't even recognize him with his haircut at first. Masturbates.
Masturbates.
Yeah.
Indeed, with one Mr. Butch. He's such a butch.
He's such a butch.
I don't know why Butch hates on Master Bates. You should never hate on Master Bates, Butch.
So anyway, yeah, it was a good match. You knew it would be. Everybody is really talented, but like you said, they never let people get over at home. They
Yeah, it's
like to
rare.
bury people at home.
It's rare. So
It's
I thought it was a good contest. I thought it was a very good match. Everybody did their job. In the end, the New Catch Republic, they caught the L. And your boys rose like a phoenix from the ashes. Only at the end to yap along Cassidy, and then boom, it was time for a little bit of war as the War Raiders came out there and put them boys on notice.
They need to do something because I forgot who the tag team champions were. I did.
That is cold.
I did. I'm kind of over them a little bit. I mean, they just keep trying and coming back, but when Ivar was solo, I really liked what he was doing right there when he went down to NXT, but I don't know. We'll see.
I'm not surprised. I mean, it had to happen. It was a nice, pleasant surprise. I wasn't quite sure who was going to come out when you had the GM out there talking to the New Day. I don't know why. For some reason, I thought he was going to say somebody from NXT. It was because there's a no quarter catch crew over there in NXT, and when he said New Catch Republic, my mind went, wait, what did he just say?
Yeah.
I was expecting Ren Sinclair to come out there and do her thing, but that did not happen. No, it was great to see Bates back in here. It was great to see Pete Dunne just kind of doing whatever he's doing. Now, with Pete Dunne, he's been kind of going in on people for a while. Then they kind of backed away, and it feels like he's kind of back to what he used to do. My only thing is I don't know what exactly we're doing with Pete Dunne right now. He feels kind of...
They were pushing him.
Kind of, you know what I mean?
I feel like they were pushing him all over the place, and it just...
Nothing really caught on.
Here's the thing. Pete Dunne is fine, but he's not championship material.
Ouch.
Not because he's not good in the ring, but because he's not over like that. He's not memorable like that. He's not catchy like that. If he never came out again, I wouldn't really notice.
Well, what about a mid-card?
I think there's just too many people who are better than him for him to have a mid-card title. Is
he 24/7 material?
Do we have a 24/7 championship?
I'm just saying, can he at least get that strap on?
Wow.
I just want to know.
Maybe.
I just want to know. Their theme as heels was all right. Yeah, I mean, they had to do something. Their theme, but what are you gonna do about these themes? They're not like the themes of old. It's unfortunate, but it just kind of is what it is.
I'll be excited to see Ilya come back. Now he needs some mid-card. He needs some kind of gold. Not
Rayo's pizza sauce. That's funny.
Yeah, I agree with that, Wilfredo.
They didn't get a reaction from the crowd. The London crowd was interesting.
Yeah.
They were interesting. They were loud. They were singing songs. Cody Rhodes. Oh, Cody. Like, they were doing a whole thing. I don't know, man. The one thing that I will say for wrestling crowds, whether it's foreign or domestic, wrestling fans are fickle.
Right.
They like what they like.
And they don't what they don't.
It's just how it is.
Right.
You know, it's just how it is. It's a little peculiar. But overall, I like the match. I like what I saw. But I got to be honest with you. Not unlike what she just said, for my money, I would not mind seeing the New Day become tag champs once again. I got to tell you. Because the War Raiders are good. They're very good in the ring. We know this. We know this, man. But are they really hitting as champions right now? I gotta say no.
Well, if they're going to give the War Raiders a match against the New Day, I would love the special guest referee to be Big E.
Oh, wow. See, now you done did it now. You done started something.
Want to be starting something. Got to be starting something. Got to see.
See, you done did it now. You done did it now. All right, so let's move on. Because this one Oh, hang on. Let me see what the people got to say. The final boss of Rock needs to show up. Yeah, I know. That's right, Mackenzie Johnson. By the way, welcome. Good to see you.
Braun Breaker is going to defend his IC title at WrestleMania 41. Oh, I saw that after the match that Penta was completely blaming him and pissed off and called him all kinds of whatevers. And then so I figured that was about to lead to a title match.
I'm good with it. I could probably give my prediction right now. I won't. I will say that his boy, Mr. Phoenix, he's supposed to be showing up. And no matter what happens after that match, I hope we get a hug it out between Penta and Rey Fenix. That's just gonna do that's on a personal level. That's gonna do my heart. That's gonna warm the cockles of his heart.
Oh, because the brothers are together.
It's gonna warm the cockles, the cold cockles of his heart. You dig? It's returning in May, possibly which makes sense because it. Okay, so if Asuka's coming back, my question is this: they changed Asuka's.
I hope so, Aaron.
You know, her
And
character, her demeanor, everything about her.
What? They did?
Well, yeah. I mean,
we haven't seen her back. How do you mean?
Okay, before she left,
what
I'm saying is
she came back.
They changed, just like they did with Shinsuke. They changed her and they kind of give her a push. Then she gets injured. My question is this: what are we doing with her?
Well, Io and they kind of went face while she was out. I would love for her to come back heel and be disappointed that they all are face and maybe squabble up with Io.
Well, I wonder, what about Kairi Sane? I know she's out for a bit. They were thick as thieves, the Kabuki Warriors. You know, I'm just curious what we're going to be doing. Because my concern is that she's going to get Shinsuke'd.
That's a fair concern.
You know what I mean? And I don't know what it is, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. But we've seen this, not so much with Asuka, but we've seen this with some of the Asian stars, where they change their stilo a little bit, cut their, that's a nice spooky promo kind of thing. Like, that's okay. And then nothing. You know what I mean?
They were doing with Karrion Kross. Aleister Black before he got let go the first time in the middle of a story.
So there's plenty of room for people to eat. I always appreciate people going outside the ring and getting promos going online, on Twitter, on Instagram, whatever. I mean, you've got your phone, man. Cut a promo. Dig in on somebody. Mm-hmm. You've got to get the attention of the brass and be like, okay, this person's making some waves, creating a disturbance in the force, if you will. Let's get this person on television next week and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta, I keep going back to Stone Cold. You gotta pick your shot.
Yeah.
You gotta do it.
So after that.
She's already been Shinsuke. Yeah. Well. Mm-hmm.
So after that match.
Let's get into this. This is what I was here to see. Big Jim Uso,
Gunther,
backstage talking to his oos, Jey Uso, having a little conversation. Now, Big Jim was again trying to give his brother a little pep talk, and Jey has some words for Jim. He's like, "Hey, I hear you. Be careful out there, Uso. That man's a monster."
I thought Braun was the monster.
Point is, the second he said that, I knew in my heart of hearts it was going down.
You didn't know till that second?
I look, you never know what they're going to do because my man loves to swerve people. But I said this. And again, I don't want to give too much away because we did discuss this, but I called this.
You called
Rocky 3, Clubber Lang, Rocky Balboa, Mick, bum! You're going to do this without me, Rock. This man, he's a murderer. You understand? And that's exactly what happened. Clubber Lang murdered Mickey. right there on the steps in Philadelphia. And that, my friends, is what we saw tonight.
You
We saw a
know,
murder.
that was awful. That was awful. I mean, I don't even think I've ever seen Jimmy Uso bleed in the WWE.
Blood like a sucked pig.
Yeah,
At a luau.
that was awful. That was awful.
But it wasn't just a beaten look. The
No.
match itself was good. Jim hung in there as best he could. But on paper, he ain't no match for the ring general. Few are.
Yeah, but it was a good match up until the end. He was bringing it to him. It wasn't like he just got in there and didn't hang at all. It was not a one-way match.
Until it wasn't a one-legged ass kick.
Until it was.
But
Until it was.
Until it was, man. He got choked out. I think I could be wrong. I need to go back and watch the tape again. I think he might have peed himself. Maybe. I think I saw a little wet spot. But be that as it may.
Wow.
You know, like you've seen those videos when somebody gets tased. And like taser, taser, taser. Ah! And they evacuate. He was getting choked out. It was over. The bell had rung. He's leaving the ring. And what did Gunther say? Nah. I didn't finish the job. Let me back up and do a little more damage. Somebody needs to be part of the Hurt business. Let's reopen that. Because he likes to hurt people.
Right.
And then Jay comes out here wanting to be the hero to help his brother. What happens then? Huh? What happens then? You got a few licks in, yeah. But at the end, nah, player. Not only did he get the better of the Usos, he hog-tied him, zip-tied him.
And this reenactment was brought to you by A&B Combos.
Big Jim got his butt handed to him. Bled like a sucked pig, got choked out, and all Jay could do was stand there and watch. Mm-hmm. And I said, if you're not going to go to this length, you need something to snap this man. Again, Rocky 3, you had Apollo Creed wanting to talk to Rocky, the man that beat him. Huh? Train him, and his heart wasn't in it. And Apollo's like, what's the matter with you? And it takes a something. And this, I'm going to go off topic real quick, because I do got to get these channel mascots out here real quick. I've said this before. I'm going to go Marvel. I'm not going to get into a whole Marvel spiel. Okay, I'm a film school guy, so I'm simply going to say this. It's old school Hollywood writing. The point of a death of a character really is to push another character's arc over.
Right.
Okay? You had Hawkeye. You had the snap. Family disappears. Man loses his mind. Turns into Ronin. I don't know where that guy was for the first Skatey 80 Avenger films. I needed Ronin in my life 10 years prior. You heard? That is not what happened with the Hulk and Natasha Romanoff. I've said this before. And this is very simple one-on-one mathematics. You beat him down within an inch of his life. He's stretchered out. He's a bloody mess. He's done. He ain't the same no more. You beat his soul. If he and Naomi ever have kids, those kids are coming out bruised. With a Gunther birthmark on the chest. Yeah! And it's that type of whooping that's the switch to kick Jay in the high gear and finally get Rocky Balboa to take it to Clubber Lang. And that's the switch we never got with the Hulk in Endgame. And I will never forgive them for that.
Why do you compare it to that instead of the death of Apollo with Dragunov?
Because here's the situation with the death of Apollo.
Almost. Not yet.
The death of Apollo was a different situation because you had him talking to Apollo. He's like, "Hey, but that ain't us no more. You know, we can't do that no more. We're regular people. I like who you are too, Apollo. You know." And he didn't have that same heart that he had in Rocky 3. He did whatever he needed to do to get the job done. But Rocky 4 was a Cold War film. I'm not going to get into the mechanics of the Rockies back then. All I'm going to say is those were two totally different films, two totally different vibes.
All right.
But I'm saying what happened here, ladies and gentlemen, needed to absolutely happen in order for Jay to become the man, to become Ronin. Jay needed to become Ronin. Jay has been Hawkeye this entire time. And again, Hawkeye done did good. Remember Budapest?
Remember Budapest?
He had some stuff. He had his little arrows and everything, and he wasn't totally useless. But he wasn't no Ronin. That's facts. We need Ronin to face Gunther at WrestleMania because Hawkeye gonna get his butt handed to him just like it happened to Big Jim.
So you want Jay Ronin Uso?
What she said.
All right. Okay.
What she said. What do y'all got to say about that? Talk to me.
Talk to me.
And I know I keep going back because I'm a movie guy. I'm a TV guy. I talk in metaphor and riddles. Sometimes what I say doesn't always make a whole lot of sense. It's a Chewbacca defense. I get it.
Wow.
If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes I'm talking the Chewbacca defense. But you understand what I'm trying to say. This had to happen. And it sucks because I hate seeing Big Jim catch that beat down.
Yeah.
But I love to see the grit. This is also what I'm kind of seeing with Naomi. Naomi is getting very physical.
Oh, I love it.
Right now.
I love it. Love it.
Because you can't be somebody saying proceed with caution. That's a big warning.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, I'm a Corvette on red, and I'm just saying you don't want to have a Corvette on red. It's dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot be a proceed with caution and come in here all timid. You got to lay hands in a fierce and a big way. You got to Rhea Ripley things.
Yeah.
Just like we saw when the last match, the main event, which we're going to get to with these ladies. But if we're not going to get that level of aggression, that level of just anger and angst and desperation, it's like a dog that's in a kennel in a shelter, like it's a stray that's backed up in a corner. There's nothing quite as violent and vicious as an animal that's backed into a corner and feels it's got nowhere to go. You don't want those problems.
You don't want those problems.
He was literally backed into the corner of the ring, hog-tied with a zip tie. You done messed up, Gunther. But it had to happen. It had to happen.
Mm-hmm. So the next match...
Oh, you want to talk about it. I mean, this is a big thing for me, but we go into the Judgment Day.
So the Judgment Day versus Finn Balor.
Sorry.
Judgment Day versus Penta and Braun Breaker.
Dirty Daddy Dom and Finn Balor.
Dirty Daddy Dom.
And I got to tell you, it was a really good match.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really good match. I got to give props because we're talking. We got Dom in conversations now. He should be the guy to face, Braun. Like, I almost feel like a Rey Mysterio. I feel like a proud papa.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how far he went once he went heel. Because I couldn't even imagine him heel when he was out there wrestling with Rey as his boy.
Wrestling.
And he has really not only improved on the mic, but in that ring, he has really stepped up his in-ring skills. And he is just so good as a heel. I can't imagine him ever being face again. I really can't.
Excellent.
Excelente.
But now this is an unlikely pairing. You have Penta, you have Braun Breaker. They've been getting into it. There's been some friction. And unfortunately, that friction, well, it sort of carried on because, well, there was an unfortunate accident.
A misunderstanding.
You know.
It's going to be a misunderstanding.
There was some, I wouldn't exactly say there was some furniture moving up in there, but I mean, Penta got ISO speed. He caught that spear, big dog. He caught that spear, and that's a big shoulder.
Yeah,
that's a big shoulder. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna give Braun Breaker the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna say that it was accidental.
Yeah.
You know, but again, it needed to happen. It needed to happen. Now, this caused the Judgment Day to catch that dub.
Right.
A la Finn Balor's finisher. And now you got Finn Balor talking big stuff.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Earlier, you saw Judgment Day backstage talking. Finn over here, Jack John to Raquel. I think too bad you didn't bring home that IC title by beating Lyra, but your boy's gonna take care of that. Don't worry about that. And then you got Raquel and Liv scheming. Don't know. Little scheming. Then they were talking afterwards. I'm very much looking forward to that. And I can't believe I'm going to say this. There's a part of me that would very much like to see Finn Balor
George Lewis.
What up, George Lewis? Beat Braun Breaker and become the Intercontinental Champion. I can't believe I just said that out loud. But that's how I feel about it.
Are we getting a triple threat with Braun versus Finn versus Penta?
Well, I know people are kind of burnt on triple threats, but I'm not mad at it.
Seems
if
like
there's
we're gonna have quite a
point
few
to
of
it.
them.
I mean, this is what I kept saying.
WrestleMania.
There are a lot of cooks in the kitchen right now. There are a lot of overlapping storylines, so it only makes sense to have that, and then it just kind of adds to the shenanigans. It's like I said, you got to give people a reason to keep watching the product.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially for WrestleMania.
Hey, Brandon Thomas.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't say right. You know what I mean?
Hey, Sean Swaby.
What up, Sean Swaby? Oh, also, and I apologize because we just kind of got into it, but at the 53-minute mark, my baby sister.
Hey.
Mwah.
What's up, my love?
She supports us all the time, and I'm sorry about that, sis.
Yes.
My apologies. I got to text her on that. 53-minute mark, sis.
Steven, what is that, Anthony?
Let me see what the people got to say. Let's bring it in here before I get a little too far. Just going to the dark side, and I love it. I mean, Movie Queen.
Hey, Pretty Richie.
You don't know the power of the dark side of the Force. There's something to be said. Let's go with that. Let's go with Mace Windu. Mace Windu, he floated somewhere between the good and the dark side of the Force. He did. He had some anger in him, but he learned how to control it. Anakin was a little out of control. I need a crossbreed between the two. I want to see a look of utter shock on Gunther's face from the level of aggression that Jey Uso is going to bring to the table. I need to see utter shock on him. And I hope that we do get that kind of match. I don't want to see Jey Uso skirting by. I don't want to see him doing super kicks or trying to do some splat. Like, I want to see him come in here, be laser focused, hit hard. I would even to go Rocky 3. Rocky, the one thing with Rocky is that when he's in his bag, he goes through that training montage. And they used to do that back in the day. You would see that with the wrestlers. They'd be in the gym clanging and banging to cut a promo. I would love to see Jey Uso shut down.
Right.
Like he did, I'm out. He's put on a hoodie and he just bounces. And then the next thing you know, we got some training montages. We got some backstage stuff. Like we don't see no more Jey Uso.
Just training.
Just training. Then the last week before Mania, he comes back, take off that very hood that he put on 3 weeks earlier. And it's Ronin. Straight up.
You just see him in a deep freezer, socking the meat, socking the cows hanging there.
It got you pumped. You cannot tell me you didn't watch those Rocky montages and didn't get pumped up. Dun, 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 dun,
Pump it up.
You heard the music playing. I would love, I don't know we're not going to get it because WWE doesn't want to do that. But I'm just saying, if you took away Jey Uso at this point and you just had these backstage segments or film segments or whatever the case may be, keep Gunther guessing, keep Gunther thinking that I beat his brother, I sent him packing, this is going to be an easy win, dog.
Right.
Oh. Come on. Tell me that's not going to be a dish that cooks.
Trey, I don't think Jay is losing, so I don't know. I just don't. I don't think they did all this for him to lose.
Yeah, man. I don't think so. I don't think so. There's a video of worst WWE Championship, and one of the people on it is your boy Jinder Mahal. Wait, yeah, I saw that. I didn't get a chance to see it. Sophie Dopey, that video, worst WWE Championship. Are we talking about the worst WWE champion, or is that what that is, or is it the championship like the title belts? We're talking about who's the worst champion because I love Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, no, Jinder Mahal's whole thing was pretty good. Hey, hi, firefighter Jimmy. How you doing?
Thank you for your service, firefighter. Look,
25 more days to what, WrestleMania or cornhole?
the beauty of Jinder Mahal is that he brought culture to it. He was a good heel, and I thought he did a really good job with what he had. I had no qualms with him, and I got to disagree. But then again, that was like a Rolling Stone basically saying Michael Jackson wasn't a great singer. Or
Who said that? For real?
Rolling Stone magazine
Said that?
Yeah.
Are they crazy?
I'll tell you right now.
Michael Jackson.
I'll tell you right now. They also said, what was the song? Was it "Baby Be Mine" or "The Girl Is Mine"? I forget which song was it.
Well, "The Girl Is Mine" was him and Paul McCartney.
It had the Thriller album had 9 songs on. No, the Lady in My Life. Lady in My Life.
Oh,
They said that was the worst song on the album.
What kind of idiot was writing the Rolling Stone articles that year?
I almost threw my phone.
What a doofus.
I almost threw my phone. I wanted to find that person and just slap him.
Well, here's the thing.
Like Jimmy slapped Gunther.
Here's the thing. You're sitting back talking about who can sing and what songs are great and awful, but you not a famous anything. You just writing about what's good and bad in a magazine. You ain't doing nothing. So, people who can do, people who can't criticize.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's real easy to sit back behind a computer desk, a camera, and criticize. But let me tell you something. I'm gonna say this real quick. The Thriller album came out in 1982.
Yeah.
Before streaming.
Yep.
Okay. Before before podcasts were a thing. Before the Apple iPod. Like. You had to really sell records.
Right.
And it was the highest selling album of all time for decades. Mm-hmm. Okay? So for some jabroni to say that The Lady in My Life was a mid-song, you lost your damn mind.
Maybe he didn't like that Michael Jackson kept correcting... who was it? Bruce Springsteen? No. Was it Bruce?
Well, no. Michael wanted it. He was a perfectionist.
We Are the World. But who was it that he
was? It was Bruce Springsteen. It was a lot of them. It was Cyndi Lauper.
But he was like, no. Sorry, you're off cue. Like his pitch And his ear was so perfect that he was like, no, 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 no.
But you could see he was wearing dark sunglasses.
Yeah.
And then he was sitting there, he was waiting for them because he knew it was coming up. And then when they hit that, I think it was Bruce Springsteen, then you could see Michael's eyes just turn. And he's all... like he just backed away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
Hey, Brandon King Carter.
So yeah,
Happy Monday.
I took exception to that. What up?
That's funny.
Brandon King Carter, good to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Sheamus. Sheamus just kind of fell off.
Is he injured or something? How are we just not seeing him at all?
You know, that's a little...
You know what, Pretty Richie? They are completely... They're two different things. Their style is different. Their type of music is different. I didn't like the way that Prince treated Michael Jackson. I felt like Michael Jackson was so secure in himself that he always tried to give other artists love. He would even sing on other artists' album and not want recognition. Don't even put me on there. I just like the song and want to be in your background. So there's times where you could be hearing somebody and be like, that sounds like Michael Jackson in the background. And it was. He was just loving to make music and loved other artists. I saw him on video try to give love to Prince, and Prince was such an ass. He just thought Michael was such a weirdo. And to me, he was being really insecure. There's no reason for you to be threatened. Like he's not trying to, y'all are two different types of music. So anyway, so at the end of the day, like I would probably say Michael Jackson edged out Prince a little bit in my opinion, but I just think they're two different people and I don't really see the need to compare them. I think that I love both of their music.
I saw a video clip when Michael Jackson died. I forget who it was. There was a reporter, Prince was having a party or something, and Prince, I guess the death of Michael Jackson affected him more so than people realized. And he actually, like he I forget who it was. He called him in and they were talking about it, and they like talked about Michael Jackson from dusk to dawn. Like they just went in and saying how but you got to understand.
Well, that's later. I mean, I was talking about when they were in the 80s.
Well, yeah, no, what I was about to say
yeah,
is you got to understand it was a different era. And it was fierce competition. Like you had like the movies, like we're talking about Rocky, you had Sylvester Stallone, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like the competition was fierce. And they hated each other. Like they're friends now. But back then, it just was what it was. It was vicious. It was vicious. It was vicious. But it was a different time. It was a different time. But they're musical geniuses, and I don't want to get too off topic. They're both musical geniuses in their own right. Michael Jackson did not read or write music. Prince obviously did, but Prince was also self-taught in all the instruments that he played. They were just different in their own right. Musical geniuses in their own way. Like Coke and Pepsi. Exactly. Coke and Pepsi. And some people like Dr. Pepper.
What's the incident, Mr. Quake?
You know what I mean? I'm not mad at Justin. How many title changes will we see in WrestleMania? Oh man, we can't say. We got to save that for our prediction show. We can't say. I know there's going to be some stuff, but we also don't have a full card yet. We still got 3 weeks to fill in the blanks. So that's kind of hard to say, but let's move on. Mm-hmm. Let's move on. There's not a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah.
That we need to get into. We had AJ Styles and Logan Paul. They kind of get into it a little bit.
Yeah, so that's going to be a match. That's going to be a WrestleMania match. I forgot about them, but yeah, they're going to be a WrestleMania match.
But I'm excited for it. These are two evenly matched guys.
Oh gosh, it's going to be so good.
And at the end of this, Logan Paul laid out the phenomenal one. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to give my predictions other than to say, like she said, I think it's going to be a good match.
Yeah.
These are top performers.
Yeah.
And this is what you need to do. You need to show up.
Yeah.
You need to show people why they should be invested in your match.
Right.
It's simple economics. Thugonomics, I will say. It's simple thugonomics.
Oh, simple thugonomics.
There we go. Word life. It's
funny.
You know what I mean? You had Lyra Valkyria, a quick backstage segment. She thanked Bailey, but she also was like, I got to be the top dog, and I don't need your help, blah, blah, blah. So next week, Bailey, you and me for this title. And I'm kind of here for it. What I would personally like to see is Bailey get a little heelish
Yes.
next week.
I want her to come out in all black and start acting a little heelish because I want to have me a Naomi, Bianca, and Bailey heel faction. I'm still holding out. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Because I'm no hater of Lyra, but her title reign,
As Pretty Richie said, is boring.
Yeah, it just has not been a sumptuous dish.
Did your super chat come up, Aaron? I thought he read it. Did he not?
Aaron, no, I did not read the super chat. Let me go back up and get that.
Sorry, Aaron.
Because I'm just kind of going off on my tangent. Although I don't see it yet, so hold on,
It's
Aaron.
right here. Go like halfway up. Up. No,
Well, I did.
no.
Whoa. I did not realize Just Alex was in here. Just Alex of
He
Alex's
is? I
World.
didn't see him.
See, this is what I'm saying. There it is, Aaron Drew. I got you.
Oh, just Alex. I didn't see him in
My
here.
apologies, Aaron Drew. Honestly, I can see Asuka coming back and acting like a face for a few weeks and then turn on IYO to start a feud at Backlash for the title. First off, thank you for that super chat.
Yes, thank you.
Secondly, what you're basically saying is that IYO is going to remain champion, so she is going to defend and retain at WrestleMania. Do I have that correct? Is my read back correct? As I saw on Under Siege yesterday with the one and only Steven Seagal, a wonderful, wonderful human being. Wonderful. Is my read back correct? Get to that helo. So you're saying IYO's going to defend?
Yes. That's so
and
funny,
retain.
just Alex. That was the song I was thinking about when I was saying that. I mean, he's been on more than that, but yeah, Somebody's Watching Me. That is Michael Jackson.
I mean,
in
it's
the
his
background.
cousin. It's his cousin.
But he didn't want to get credit for it because he didn't want to take the. Yes, Prince did reject doing "We Are the World." That just shows you what a jerk he was at that time. But that's okay.
They didn't need him. It was a packed house full of stars.
You were invited to do something for the world, and your ego wouldn't let you come in the room with them because they're all stars.
It would have been amazing to have Prince in there. But Prince at that time,
his ego was too
he was
big.
just an island of one.
Yeah, so I'm saying he would work with other people that he wanted to bring up, but he wasn't about to work with other stars.
But it was his way or the highway.
Yeah.
I mean, he was going through the new power generation, the revolution. Like he was just like it's like this is how we need to do it.
Well, what he did to Apollonia, where he just plucked her out and put Vanity in with the same background singers, and instead of Apollonia 6, it was Vanity 6. I was like, that's
like you're
that's
replaceable.
Foul.
Please understand this.
But anyway, back to
please understand this.
Okay, so
I don't need you.
Let's get back to the show because we sure did get off topic.
Well, just Alex of Alex's World, brother. I know you did your post-show review earlier. If y'all haven't checked it out, please go and check out his video. Make sure you drop that like. Thank you for showing up and showing some love in here, brother Alex. We appreciate you very, very much. Yeah, I don't know if Asuka is going to come in, be face, turn heel. I don't know what the game plan is.
Yeah.
You know? I just miss the Asuka of old.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because she was a contender. She was somebody that you knew was reliable. And even when she was here, I just feel like it sucks. It sucks because at one point in your career, once you're catching on and you're hot, and then eventually it just cools off a little bit and you enter a different phase of your career. I mean, it happens like with actors. At one point in your career, you're the teenager, you're the Jennifer Aniston, everybody wants your haircut, and then the next thing you know, you're Meryl Streep in it with Diane Keaton, and
Whatever.
Goldie Hawn. You know what I mean? Like, it's just
Whatever.
things change. Things change. I don't know. Yeah, I miss Big E too, but what are you gonna do?
Okay, so what was so next? Cena turned the crowd against Cody, and Cody won them back over with Vince McMahon. You are not lying there. You are not lying there.
I mean,
That was
somebody had to say
fire.
it.
That was fire. That had me wooing all over the place. I was like, this is good.
Yeah, I heard her too.
I
She was
was in
scaring
the
the
car
dogs.
like, woo! Yeah, so that was fire. So
Somebody had to say it.
so what was next after that?
I mean, you know, aside from a couple things here and there, we're talking about the main event. Oh,
Yeah.
what up, pretty Richie? Good to see you,
Yes,
son.
yes.
Love
That-
Coke and love Pepsi. Let me just take a quick poll, real quick, for those that drink soda. Which do you prefer, Coke or Pepsi? Are you a Coke person or are you a new generation Pepsi person? I just want to know. I'm just curious. I usually ask where are you from and what temperature. Now I'm asking,
Now we're asking if it's Coke or Pepsi.
are you a Coke person or are you a Pepsi person? I would really want to know. Or neither. Do you prefer Mr. Pip? Mr. Pip. Cena had a killer line. Let me go ahead and read this for you because this is how we're going to do over here. I build empires for billionaires. You just steal from their kids.
Now what's funny about that is that was a great line, but once again, pot calling the kettle black. You were on a box of Fruity Pebbles. Shut up.
Fruit Pebbles is delicious.
No kid, even well, first of all,
Semi-nutritious.
the kid, that kid John Cena merch sells like nobody's business. I'm for sure if you look it up, John Cena has sold more merch to kids than Cody. Although Cody's little kid jacket is fire. But Cody's spinner belt, come on, dude. Come on, bro. At the end of the day, like, yes, your lines were good, but you wanted to keep saying everything about Cody that was true about you when you were the champ. So, but yeah, that was a good line.
But they torched each other, and I was absolutely here for it. This is what I needed to see, but I also needed to see some physicality. But again, going back, because I know you weren't here earlier, Alex, what I basically said is this. If this is, in fact, Cena's last on-screen bit until we see him for WrestleMania, I don't know what the next few weeks are supposed to look like
Right.
to keep the people invested in this. And I don't want to see just highlight reels from the previous week. You got to give us something more.
Oh, okay. I did not get that, just Alex.
You know what I mean?
That. And what's funny, that's a dumb comment if he was talking about Tony Khan, because
What happens if you like both?
you could like both. He was just asking. There's a lot of people only prefer one or the other. I actually like both. I don't drink them anymore, but I liked both. They had two different kind
Well,
of.
it's coming in hot, actually.
Coke is more sharp.
I used to be the Sprite guy, but that was the black soda.
But I do want to say, as far as just Alex said, the billionaire shot was a shot at Tony Khan. I feel like that doesn't make sense because Cody Rhodes, AEW was fire when Cody Rhodes was there. And ever since Cody Rhodes left, it's gone downhill. So he wasn't stealing nothing from Tony Khan. He gave Tony Khan the best run AEW had.
Well, you know, something to be said. Let me see what the people got to say. Coke Zero. Pepsi nowadays. Coke. Sprite guy. Coke. Soda Sprite. I see Sprite in here. I used to drink Pepsi over Coke. Pepsi. I back in the day, way back, long time ago. Long time ago. My grandparents loved Pepsi. I thought it was too sweet. So I actually preferred Coke. I felt Coke had a little more of a bite. You would drink Coke, especially a cold Coke, on a hot summer day, and you just felt it, just in the throat. Like, put some hair in your chest. Pepsi just tastes a little too...
Wow,
too sweet for me.
Jack Roman got completely got statistics on us, but I could tell you that I don't drink soda anymore like in general. Like I try to avoid drinking soda. Once in a blue moon I'll have a treat, but it's not good for you. But Dr. Pepper cream soda, I had to try it. I loved Dr. Pepper when I was younger. Love me some cream soda. It's pretty fire.
Yeah, I was never a fan of cream soda or Dr. Pepper. I I could see why people like Dr. Pepper. It's a very unique flavor. I would drink it when I was in the mood. I'd have to be in the mood for it.
This is coming from the dude who doesn't like soup and who doesn't like you don't even
Why are you bringing up all this stuff though?
like because like
we're just talking about soda.
chocolate. I mean,
So
your taste buds are a little
chocolate's disgusting.
Your taste buds are a little
Let's
skewed.
let's slow down. Chocolate is gross. Nutella is horrible.
Thank you, son. Thank you. Cream soda is fire.
Of course, sugar
Best
causes
drink
diseases.
today
We know
is
this.
water. Dang, Wilfredo, I gotta tell you, I drink water, but I am hooked on liquid IV.
I see what you're doing, Pretty Richie.
I am hooked on liquid IV. I do the sugar-free rainbow sherbet in my water, and it is fire. I love me some liquid IV.
Yeah, she does.
Anyway, so let's get to the main event, people.
Well, hang on. Before we do, Brandon Thomas, you're right on that. It was the penile promo part that threw me. Cody went ATL on Cena. Yeah, that was unexpected.
That's what I said, too.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I said Cody Rahim is coming out the pocket because you don't usually hear faces say stuff like that.
No.
And so Cody is heard everybody calling him mid and boring, and he is pushing it, and he is getting edgy, and he is saying stuff that you do not expect a face champ to say. And so I thought that was crazy.
Well, it reminded me of when Brandy Rhodes came out and talked to Jade, where she was like, "Who told you this was open mic night?" I loved it.
Who said that?
That was Brandy Rhodes. I did not expect that.
So funny.
But that's still one of the favorite things that I've ever heard because that was a very real promo. Everybody coming there and just cutting a promo. Yeah, coffee's terrible. I will say this much. They had Coke Black, which was coffee and Coke.
Oh,
that we actually kind of dug.
Yes.
We actually kind of dug. We were like, it was a very
We were
unique,
hooked on that. And it didn't last for long. We get hooked on stuff that nobody likes. Every time you remember when the Snapple had an apple pie flavor?
Yeah.
And you loved it and it was seasonal and they never brought it back. And Coke Black, they have brought it back now. They call it something else.
Yeah, but I couldn't.
But neither one of us can have caffeine like that. But
so I like what Just Alex is saying. I don't bury talent. I am talent. What I bury is media. I said that earlier too.
Yeah, that was good too.
It was a fire promo between the two of these guys. They cut some great lines. But like I said, I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. These two are two of the best on the microphone when it comes to that, and they're able to do this. And Cody has even stepped his game up. We already knew this is basically saying, "Hey, look, Cena, we need you to go in here and cut it. I got it, guys. You don't even really, you know what I mean?
Right.
He. This is a man that has learned Mandarin Chinese. Do you know how difficult that is?
Yeah, and I knew that he wasn't going to really cuss back at him when he was like feces all in your whatever, because I think John Cena thinks cussing is beneath him.
Yeah, now he'll cuss a little bit, like he'll say jackass or ask something like that, but like we do, like we get a little cheeky, but we're not going to go full.
Yeah, so when he said feces, that didn't surprise me at all.
Yeah,
I was like, of course you would.
Yeah, George Lewis, chocolate is terrible. All right, so let's talk about this because we're gonna get back into this. You know, we're gonna want to catch up a little bit, but Brandy Rose said it to Jay Cargill. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. And I loved every minute of it. All right, so let's talk about this. Oh, wait.
I'm going to talk about the main event.
10 years since AJ Lee retired from wrestling. Well, thank you for reopening that 10-year-old wound.
I acknowledge you, Roman Reigns.
So let's talk about the main event. Rhea Ripley, IYO SKY, World Heavyweight Championship on the line. And you had the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair, coming out in what may very well be the most fire ref outfit I've ever seen.
Most fire ref outfit on earth.
Made it herself.
Of course.
Fire outfit. First off, I appreciate Bianca Belair so much for making gear that always contains her abilities.
Yeah,
she ain't never had a moment.
Yeah, she makes her own gear and has never had a wardrobe malfunction.
You understand?
So maybe she needs to help the seamstress and the other
But I love
people in
that
the
ref
back.
outfit. Loved it.
It was great.
Classic stripe colors, which I love. The match itself, I mean, what can be said?
Yeah.
These are two consummate professionals. Somebody the size of EO taking on somebody the size of Rhea Ripley. On paper, again, you would think it's not a fair fight. But EO ain't no easy win.
She ain't no easy win.
You come over, but you're going to limp back.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And that's what it was. But I'll tell you what. No Naomi. No Jade. And for the most part, Bianca called it right down the middle.
Yeah.
I thought she was pretty fair and impartial.
Yeah.
But once you start blaming the ref and then you start laying hands.
But you kicked her out of the ring and then you mad at her that she's not in the ring to count. Be careful. Don't be sorry, ho. Be careful.
Don't be sorry, ho. Be careful. She threw it out on purpose to get heat. She's trying to make fans boo her, just like last week when she said Rhea did not earn it. I mean, I'm sorry, A. I'm sorry, EO. Wait.
I agree. She's for sure going heel.
It's a match that has never been done on the main roster. They didn't add Ricky Steamboat to Hulk Hogan versus Andre. Well, no. I mean, I get what you're saying there.
I would way
Leo.
prefer for it to be just Rhea and Bianca. Honestly, if you ask me, that would be my preference. But I see why they're trying to give EO a main event WrestleMania match. I mean,
well, she's the current champion.
That's who they're investing in.
You see something in her, but you need she needs that extra added ingredient to the match to make this a WrestleMania must-see main event match. It just has to be that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
still like
who else,
ginger ale,
if
Mr.
not
Quick.
Rhea or Bianca, who? And again, I'm not talking about EO having a good match. Like she has a good match with, let's just say somehow, some way it was Dakota Kai or Natalya. Like I'm not saying that she cannot have a good match with other wrestlers. I'm talking about main event level WrestleMania match.
Right.
If it's not going to be these two women with all the shenanigans that's going on here, I'm never mad at a one-on-one match.
Right.
But you're giving the people, first off, you're giving more ladies time to shine on the grandest stage of them all. And you're giving the people a little more bang for their buck.
Right.
I'm not mad at it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So long as everybody does their part. And what I saw tonight says to me, everybody's doing their part. Now, clearly, keeping it under the K-Fabby umbrella, K-Fabby, Rhea next week is going to go into Adam Pearce's office and is going to demand that he make this right. So it ain't over.
Right. Well, we're going to have that triple threat. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It ain't over, and it has to be this way. Which, by the way, ginger ale is not bad.
I'm not arguing with you for sure on that.
But I'm not talking about Canada Dry ginger ale or Schweppes. I'm talking about real ginger. I bought her, went to
actually, ginger
Sprouts
beer
Market.
is good. It doesn't have beer in it.
No.
But it's good.
But you get the real ginger. This has been like high fructose corn syrup down. If you got to get the real ginger ale.
That's what
totally
I think the
different.
ginger beer is. Like when you have it, it's that ginger snap.
Yeah, it's totally
It's
different.
pretty pure. Mm-hmm.
It's totally different. But let me see. Mountain Dew Live Wire. Yeah.
Well, don't we all pretty with you? We
scares
all
me.
waiting to see what that favor is. Yeah.
Everybody wants Bianca versus Rhea. I mean, Rhea said this to Bianca.
No.
We'll get back to this.
Who are you talking to, well-rounded Leo? I said I agree with you unless you're talking to somebody else. I said I agree with you that Rhea versus Bianca would be so fire.
No, well-rounded Leo. I am in no way, shape, or form saying Rhea versus Bianca could not main event. What I'm saying is, I don't like the idea of EO being a transitional champion. Here's what I don't like. And I get what you're saying. The last few weeks, you saw the three ladies in there talking up a storm, and both Rhea and Bianca were just pushing Io out the way like you
Punking
don't
her.
matter.
Yeah.
Like she's the champion.
Like we ain't worried about you. We're worried about each other, like disregarding her.
And she's like, put some respect on my name.
Yeah.
With a K. Put some respect on my name.
Mm-hmm.
I can go toe to toe with any one of you heifers.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Io was trying to prove to them that she's a worthy opponent because they weren't remotely worried about her. And so the same way that many people are dismissing her, like she shouldn't even be in a match, she's trying to prove that she should be in the match, which makes me think she's going to pull out a good show. She's a great wrestler, but I really wanted to see these two powerhouses go. I mean, I know that I'm old school in this way, but the same way we talk about the gladiators, I like that Jade and Bianca and Rhea build that big gladiator versus gladiator crazy, you know what I'm saying? And so I guess I just feel like she, on paper anyway, doesn't really fit in that feud and is going to kind of, I just hope that it's good, but I would have preferred to just see Bianca and Rhea, but I'm sure we'll get that eventually.
I think we could, because I think what might end up happening is we could see, and again, this is not a prediction. I'm simply saying we could see, because we know this is going to be a triple threat, Io actually come out the victor, so everybody gets their time to shine. But there's still this bitterness, this animosity. It's like Io has now done her thing. I beat you, I'm moving on. But these two still got some beef. And then we can get them at a different PLE down the road.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. I mean, and you know, it's gonna be good though. It's not gonna, the match isn't gonna be ruined. There'll be moments where Io is out or hurt and the two of them are going at it. We'll still get moments of it. And I think that from this three-way thing with CM Punk and Reigns and Rollins, we may still also get just Roman and Rollins down the line because they have so much history, but Seth has so much history with CM Punk. CM Punk and Roman don't really have anything. So the only thing they could do is have that favor because those two, there's no real...
See, that's what I'm saying. We saw down here. Imagine seeing IYO SKY versus Candice LeRae. Imagine that being
Nobody cares.
a match at WrestleMania.
That would be so stupid.
No offense to Candice LeRae.
Offense.
But come on. Okay.
You a background player, baby. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying.
Let me tell you who should be standing behind Nia Jax, and this whole division would look different. The Tonga twins. I said what I said.
Yeah.
Fight me if you want to. Put the Tonga twins behind Nia and see if that wouldn't be the most dominant female faction you ever seen in your whole life.
Bring Rekka Tahaka up in here too.
Oh my gosh. And bring Rekka Tahaka. Talk about a female
Y'all don't
bloodline.
know.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all don't know. We got the male bloodline over here, man. Please. Please. Everybody in this room know all the power lie with the women when it comes to the Samoan culture. Come on, man. Come on,
yeah,
man.
Charlotte versus Jade will be fire at some point for sure.
Real quick, Movie Queen says something that I'm going to drop to you. I've always wanted to try butterbeer. Lay it on her. lay it on her. Tell her.
Movie Queen, I might have to figure out how to ship you some because butterbeer is fire. I mean, you are a cream soda person.
Well, I can't drink it. I don't drink anything with carbonation.
But you did taste it.
Of course.
But it is, if you like cream soda and you like butterscotch.
They got cold and warm.
There's cold, warm, and frozen.
Yeah.
They're all fire. It depends on if it's a hot day, I want frozen.
Yeah.
If it's a cold day, then I like the warm. It's good too, but oh my gosh.
But if we make it out here to Los Angeles,
yes.
We'll all go. We'll meet up and we'll go to Universal for the day.
Yes, Pretty Richie. And at one point, Universal,
butterbeer, yep.
During the Grinchmas, they did like a hottie toddy version where they had like kind of like a butterbeer thing with a little bit of rum in it. I mean, I'm not a big drinker, but
look, Sophie
really
Dophie.
Good.
Exactly what she said. Look, Sophie Dophie. Let me go ahead. Let me address this. The WWE.
Neither is Tama Tonga.
The
Roman Reigns.
WWE does factions. It's just what they do.
It's just what they do.
If they didn't, maybe I wouldn't bring up the female factions all the time and my she night either. But they just do.
Everybody does. Look at AEW. Look at all those stables. Look at all those factions.
I absolutely love a good stable.
Yep.
Marina Shafir, I love a good, strong female in a faction. I love me some Marina Shafir. I love me some Marina Shafir before Marina Shafir was Marina Shafir. Okay? I can appreciate it. Megan Bain, I am a fan of her. She can stand on her own 2 feet. But if she was a part of a faction, a tag team, we don't have 2 big, strong, tough women as tag team champs.
The closest we came was Tamina and Nia, and then Nia went out for surgery, and they just threw Tamina out with the bathwater. You know what, well-rounded Leo, I gotta say, there's times where Seth is boring, or we just need a break from him, right? But this is not one of those times. I loved him having a conniption that CM Punk was getting his way with his WrestleMania match. He short-circuited and flipped out like a little kid throwing a tantrum. I thought it was great. I loved that.
What is cheer wine? I'm from the East Coast, but I've actually never heard of it.
I have no idea. It's probably, is that beer and wine? No, if it's cheer, it must be, I don't know.
I'm curious on that one. That's something Movie Queen mentioned, cheer wine. Is that cherry wine? I don't know. Cheer wine? I'm not sure what that is.
No, the Learning Tree was awful.
Yeah, the Learning Tree. I will say this much for Jericho.
I like the Jericho Appreciation Society or whatever it was.
I love how he constantly changes himself.
Yeah, he tries, and if it doesn't work, he'll just go on.
But yeah, the Learning Tree, it just
Roman Reigns, no. Ava could stay right where she is. She was awful in the ring.
Yeah, she's. I like her where she is. I just wish that she would just get a little more aggressive. Like, she needs to put these. You're the boss. You're the GM, and she's letting the inmates run the asylum. That I don't like. You know what I mean? She needs to, and she did it for a minute. Mm-hmm. She was kind of being a little stick the chest out and telling people what's up, but now she's just kind of like, okay, I guess we got a match. Yeah. Okay, I guess we're doing this. Is that what we're doing as a GM? You're a big woman. We know you can wrestle.
Yeah.
So if you need to lay hands and tell people what's up, that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
Do you need an enforcer? Maybe Omos needs to be your enforcer. Maybe you need a heavy. I don't know. But something I like her in her role, but something ain't hitting.
Well, who was it that accidentally knocked her out?
I forget who it was. It was oh gosh.
It's just a cherry flavored soda, but it's called cherry wine.
I forget who it was.
I've only had like cherry Pepsi and cherry Coke. I haven't really had like a cherry.
No, it wasn't.
soda.
It wasn't Eddie Thorpe. Eddie Thorpe was blamed for it. It wasn't Eddie Thorpe. He was blamed for it, but she was hit by somebody else. If I'm recalling correctly. Remember Shawn Michaels roughed him up because it appeared that it was Eddie Thorpe, but it was not Eddie Thorpe. It was somebody else, and I forget who it was.
But it does seem like when The Rock came there, that should have came up. That he should have, called dude out. You're The Rock. It's your daughter. But that's a missed opportunity, if you ask me.
I like the fact that they acknowledged it without really acknowledging it, and I was cool with that. But also, it's like, your dad is The Rock. I know you want to be your own person, but The Rock was the boss.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I just need you to be a little more boss. I need you to be a big boss lady.
Well, I mean, they pushed her in it really fast. It's not like she was great. She was awful. She was awful on promos when they were trying to push her. But she's improved. I think, just like Dom, maybe we'll see as she's in it more and further that she'll get more comfortable and And as she gets more and more comfortable, that she'll improve more and more. They're not about to get rid of her. She's a Rock's
No,
daughter.
no, they would never do that.
But, she was awful. She was awful. She didn't know where to look. She kept looking at the camera. She didn't know what to do. It was awful. But I feel like she's no longer cringe. I got to the point where I'd be like worried about what was going to come out of her mouth. So now I feel like she's gotten to a point where, we're at least past that.
Yeah.
But she would need to work hard to get back in the ring. And I feel like he must not have thought she had any intention, because why wouldn't you have worked with her when she was little? Well, but then again, he went on to be a star, so he wasn't around to work with her in the ring as much.
Well, it's like
because he did become a star when she was a baby.
It was like Charlotte Flair's brother. This was not her dream. This was his dream.
Right.
And she's living out his dream. And who knows what would have happened if he did, in fact, live and became a wrestler. Mm-hmm. Would he have ascended to the heights that Charlotte Flair has ascended to? Who can say? Who can say? But you are green until you're not. And you saw a very different Roman Reigns. Like John Cena said today, I'm not going to cook you. I'm going to bury you. John Cena speaking against Roman Reigns some years ago, I mean, he torched that man. He torched that man. That man was shook. John Cena actually had The Rock shook. And he even said it. Oh, he shook, ladies and gentlemen. It happened.
Yeah.
Like on the mic, John Cena is second to none. But he wasn't always like that.
Right.
This guy was almost fired. Just like The Rock. The Rock wasn't always The Rock. You know what I mean? It's just, this is what I'm saying. Like if you're doing this business, you're not getting in on a whim. Like there was a lot of work and time and invested and investment into doing this. Like we're watching LFG and we're seeing these young kids come in here with the tutelage of some legends.
Right.
That's nerve-wracking in and of itself. When we were at NXT this last time out here in LA, and you had Triple H coming out there with Nick Khan sitting there ringside. I think did Stephanie come out too? I don't remember if Stephanie came out.
No, that was a different show.
Yeah. So you have Triple H, you've got Nick Khan ringside watching your match.
Right.
Like, just think about the nerves that have to go into that. Like, you know they're watching from Gorilla and everything, but they're just a few feet away, and you just do not, like, they're picking apart every little thing you do in the ring because they've been doing it for years. Some of them, honestly, they were doing this before so many people were even born.
Man, we couldn't even focus on the match because you had Triple H right there, Nick Khan and whatever, but Triple H was right there. I was like, I could almost touch him.
I could see my teeth in his dome. But that's how close we were. But all I'm saying is that you don't know who you're going to be until you're that. Triple H, the game, wasn't always Triple H, the game. He was Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the snob. And his promos were kind of cringe. Everybody starts somewhere. It's just a question of where you end up. The journey that gets you there. And that's what I want to see. I want to see the growth. I want to see the journey. I want to see these people come into their own and take their spot.
Look at W Nostalgic's photo. That's hilarious.
Well, yeah, Triple H is a snob. You like The Rock said, you're yourself just amped up. So yeah, he's for sure a snob. But what I'm saying is Hunter Hearst Helmsley, that initial character, that wouldn't have hit the same way as Sledgehammer, DX. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's a journey to get there.
Well, because they were talking about that with when they were going over the. They were talking about that when they were going over Triple H's. When they were talking about Triple H versus not Mankind, just Foley, and that Triple H really kind of needed to cement himself as someone who could go there, and that is a street fight match with Mick Foley. Like, you could survive that, you could survive anything, and that is just it's crazy the kind of stuff you had to do back in the day to like cement yourself as someone who could go there, which is kind of something I feel like that's what AEW is doing now. Like now you're doing this stuff to try to cement that you're crazy, you're a man, you could do anything, you'll take anything, you'll let somebody stab you with a syringe and what I mean, I don't it's one thing to want to be a professional wrestler. I personally think that some of that stuff is so cringe. Like you're going past professional wrestling and trying to prove that you're insane and you don't care what happens to you. And I don't. It's just not my cup of tea. But I know you don't care.
I mean, I was a fan of Terrorizing too. I absolutely think that who knows what could have happened. Who knows what could have happened if things went left instead of right.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it was what it was.
Yeah.
I did the water spit back in middle school. That's hilarious, Mr. Quake. And you saw Triple H with his family when Linda McMahon was being confirmed, and he drank that water, and everybody's all, is he about to do it? Is he about to do it? Like that's how I am. If I were there and no cameras were on me, I'm just a ham like that. That's exactly what I would have done.
Absolutely.
And she would have been like,
no.
Our thoughts, Sophie Dofi, on WWE hosting a pay-per-view in India 2026, 2027. I mean, why not? There's a huge audience over there.
It is. I mean,
and if they do, I want to see the big man.
But I'll tell you this, you need to stay in the States when it's WrestleMania season. If you have stars, if your full-time roster who's with you, whatever, fine. But I just have a feeling that them being overseas is why The Rock wasn't there, because he had too much going on out here. Now, I could be wrong, but it's different from a quick flight here and there in my jet to a quick flight to Europe.
Overseas.
That's not the same thing.
Ain't no easy flight.
But we'll see if The Rock is if we see his face before WrestleMania, now that they're back out here, then that's going to me, feel like that my suspicions are correct.
You got 3 weeks. 3 weeks to make something happen, Captain. 3 weeks. But as far as the Indian fan crowd is concerned, I'm all for it, but I got to agree with her as well. When it comes to WrestleMania season, it ain't the time.
I don't know about them being in Mexico, Mr. Quake. I mean, I'm part Mexican and everything, but right now the mafia run Mexico. So they wouldn't necessarily be safe in Mexico. They'd be over there trying to kidnap a superstar who's shopping or whatever. The mafia's Mexican mafia holding him.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Stunning Steve Austin and the natural Dustin Rhodes. I mean, everybody has their favorites. They were different. That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Stunning Steve was not Stone Cold. He, aside from the fact that one had hair, one didn't. No, they were just two totally different people. And you just even the Undertaker was Mean Mark Calloway.
Hey, Cameron.
He was just some tall ginger who loved to hit people hard. Freaking Kane was Isaac Yankem DDS. Like everybody starts somewhere.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Rocky Maivia. I mean, yeah, everybody comes out. John Cena was just out there and wasn't he out there in yellow trunks and nothing else when he first came out?
Crazy hair and just a prototype.
Yeah.
The cartel. Yeah, you don't want that. Brian Pillman. Exactly. So that's how it is.
They are the cartel, but I just call them the mafia. To me, it's all the same thing.
All right, y'all. Go ahead and drop your rates. We gave our hot take, but drop your rate. What do you feel about tonight's Monday Night Raw? Drop your rates. What would you give Monday Night Raw on the rate scale?
You know what?
On that YEET scale.
I'd give it a 9.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. We wanted to see John and Cody get physical. We wanted to see John say something different, and he did. We wanted to see, we knew that it was going to be a bloodbath with Gunther and Jay. Him tying him to the rope and making him watch as he was a bloody mess. That was exactly what we kind of thought. Something like that was going to happen. They delivered. We knew there'd be shenanigans with the Bianca and Rhea and IYO match, and there was. The match, like I said, between the New Day and them, it was a good match. It was, you're gonna have your boys from out there come out there and wrestle, but it was a decent match. It wasn't, it was good. There wasn't. I don't really have any complaints about it.
Yeah, no, I think the show was a solid 9, teetering on a 9.5. I think everything pretty much hit the right notes. It's a bit of a shame we have no wide 6 right now. I think they would have added a real nice, just a very particular flavor, if you will, to this dish of WrestleMania, and that's kind of sad.
Steven, I would love for that to happen. Do we think that there's any chance that Jay will murder Ludwig in retaliation? That would be fire.
Say that again. I think what?
Would there be any chance that Jay might murder Ludwig in retaliation? Can you imagine Gunther come back to his locker, and a bloody Ludwig is just laying there on the ground? It just says "yeet," like a little.
Well,
Yeet in blood.
I told you.
Oh, yeet in blood on his chest.
Like you said, we need to see Jay Ronan Uso. If we're not going to get this, should have pushed Jay into next level. And if this did not do that, then what are we even doing?
Oh, no, they have to. And yes, we need to know exactly what's happening with the Wyatt Six and Alexa Bliss. George, you are not playing. They need to get it together. So
the rates are coming in. We got 8.5 from George. We got Cameron Valencia. What up, Cameron? 8. Mr. Quake, 8.5. 850 Big Boy, and 9. Wesley Franklin, always a pleasure, coming in at a solid 8.
And there's Jay. And there's Rhea and Liv and Dom. And there's Bray Wyatt. Oh, I didn't see Bray before, babe. That's awesome.
Bray Wyatt's back there.
And here's Nikki.
It's all very subtle. You have to really look. You got to pay attention. The Raw is over here. We should probably move this just a smidgen.
Yeah, I was thinking we'll rearrange some of that so you can see it.
Yeah, we got to do a little rearranging. You can see the Raw logo right there. But this is Mike Tyson glove. So there we go. Now we see a little Raw. Now you got Raw.
Exactly. W Nostalgic. That's it.
Justin Hollicrane says a 10 out of 10, and that is just too yee. Yeah, this is what I'm saying, Sophie Dopey. The European tour, as much as they're going overseas, they might as well bring back the European Championship at this point.
Yeah.
I have no issues with them going overseas. The time change is really crappy when we do our live watch-alongs and we just can't.
Yeah.
And that kind of blows. So that's the one thing that we don't like. Roman Reigns gives it a 7.5. W Nostalgia gives it a 9. Tyrell gives it a perfect 10. Pretty Richie says, I'm going to give this a 9.5, Cotton. And you usually got to pay double for that kind of action. That's what I'm talking about. My man, Pretty Richie. Steven Sanchez said, just hopping back. Oh, okay. What are the... you asked that question. Okay. Sophie Dopey, 10 out of 10. Wilfredo, 7.5. But for A&B Combos, a perfect 10.
Thank you.
I like the International Raws and SmackDowns. I don't dislike them because the crowds are great. The crowds are great. Every week, consistently, the crowds are lit. And that I love. Not more so than the performers, because there's nothing quite like feeling the energy, as The Rock likes to says, the mana. And you just get
the mana.
You know? You can appreciate that. Yeah, it's a good idea, B. I like it. You got the chance. I think we open up Raw with Jay beating the holy moly donut shop out of Ludwig.
Holy moly donut shop. Who said that?
I believe that was Pretty Richie. Yep. I was on ABC. Oh, you're on ABC. Oh, you're on BC's Amplified's live stream earlier. And basically, this guy hates everything about Triple H's booking. Yeah, I've dipped into his lives before. He's very opinionated, as are a lot of people, just like JD from New York. Everybody's very, very opinionated, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. We try to be a little more even-handed. You try to be a little more even-handed with it.
I haven't been in there. I don't know who that is, but I could tell you this. I am watching the show because I'm a fan and I want to enjoy, and I want to just go along for the ride, and I want to enjoy the ride. It's not always going to be perfect. There's going to be times like back in 2018, 2019, I think, was it, that the show was so bad. It was so bad that you were just like, Vince, what the hell are you doing? Like, it was so awful that every show was like a 2 or 3, if that, on a good day. So now we have phenomenal stars doing phenomenal things, and people want to complain and talk crap anyway. Like, what are you pissing all over the show for? If you don't like it, I don't know, dude. Go do something else, review something else. But like, it may not be perfect, but there's a lot of really good storylines. There's a lot of really good stars. There's a lot of really good matches coming up. There's a lot to look forward to. Since Triple H has been in charge, we have had the best Backlash, the best Money in the Bank, the best WrestleMania, the best SummerSlam. He has broke records with his phenomenal booking. And now, because this one isn't feeling as phenomenal as the last one, people want to crap all over. And we haven't even had the show yet. Calm down. And I don't personally like to see people just throwing everything under the dirt. Like, can we find the good? Can we find the positive? Like,
yeah, I mean, we'll complain about stuff that there's a legitimate
here
reason
and
to
there.
complain about, but no, we try to keep it with the power of positivity and just enjoy the show. Now, if it's a poor show, we'll say so.
Yeah.
You know, we'll give it a poor rating for the most part, but you know, everybody
Sean.
There's something out here for everybody. You know, just as Remarkable Wrestler likes to say, there's plenty of room at the table for all to feast.
Steven said, when people stop being fans and start being hot take machines, that's when I tune out. Yeah, like, you're an expert. You don't do this. You're just watching what someone else is creating and what they're trying to do. And everything he's done has been so good. So, I mean, yeah, like, no, not everything he's done. There's been a few missteps, but in general, he has given us some of the best shows, and not everything has been followed up perfectly. Not everything has been executed perfectly, but I love the direction we're going in, and I'm not about to start coming down on Triple H. I'm just not about to.
No, I don't think there's any reason for it, and I'm fine with the slow burn. But I've said this earlier in the broadcast. I said it before, and I'm going to say it one more again. If you're on a hiatus, if you're on a break, whatever, for whatever reason, use social media, use something to your advantage, and not just do like outside stuff. You should keep up with your character work, and that's something that I will always credit Bayley for doing. When she was out on injury, she was forever in the tweet box, just tapping up a storm, letting people know, hey, I'm still here and I'm coming after some people. You know, just use what you got to keep the feud alive. The fans appreciate it.
Yeah.
They really do. And it keeps things to not be cold. Like, you're just like Ilya Dragunov. Out on injury sucks. I love me some Ilya. But that's also somebody that should have consistently still been, like, you should have had some video packages of dude getting in the hospital.
Yeah.
I'm going to be back. I'm pissed, like training, like stuff. And they usually do it right before people are about to come back.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, let's flip it a little bit. Let's think outside that box. Let's stop doing the norm. I'm telling you, people would really appreciate it.
Well, Sophie Dophie, you said who would have thought that DX would be in charge of WWE? Me. Because DX is what saved them during the Monday Night Wars. They didn't know what to do. WCW.
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 WCW 2.0.
Yeah, it was whooping their butts, and the outlaw.
The new age outlaws.
I mean, they were just, they took it somewhere else. And WWE was still doing their corny mess, and nobody cared. And when Shawn and Triple H introduced DX, Vince didn't even want any part of it. And they did it anyway, and he got really upset. But then when the crowd reacted, then Vince got on board.
This is good shit.
Right? So at the end of the day, they are the ones who turned the tides in that war. So absolutely, I believe that. And then they stayed like giving more suggestions and adding to creative and really saved it. And so it's not shocking to me at all.
Not at all. All right, I'm going to walk these channel mascots because they got to do their business. Number 1 and number 2.
Number 1 and number 2.
So we're going to get it up out. I want to thank y'all for chilling with us on a Monday night. Again, it's not our typical.
I don't know, movie queen.
It's not our typical live, but we'll be back next week. Monday Night Raw is back in the States, baby.
Oh, and our new Super Chat champion mid-card title holder tonight is Marked by Wrestling, Steven Sandridge.
What?
Woo!
The only Super Chat championship with our channel mascots as the side plates, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, man. Congratulations. The chat is sacred.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm
Good
talking
night,
about.
Anthony.
So again, I want to go ahead and give.
General. I love it.
That's actually great. I want to give some love to Mark by Wrestling. He did a live watch along for Monday Night Raw. If you haven't checked it out yet, please, Steven, drop your channel right here in the chat so people can be directed. We will highlight that. Our man Just Alex of Alex's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you and like us, popped into the chat and showed some love. If you haven't checked out his post-show review, dip on into his channel and check it out as well. I'll lose it by Friday. Maybe not.
We should start keeping track of how many people and who have held the title how many times and have it up on the screen.
It's the fighter title.
Yeah, it's the fighter title for sure.
So, just hold it with pride. Hold it with pride. This is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you very much,
you guys.
Steven.
We love you. Thank you for being here for sure.
So thank you to our mod squad. Y'all kept an eye on everything like always. I saw a bot in there earlier, and if you ain't got a bot in there, you ain't doing it right.
Right.
So we appreciate that. To our members, we hope you enjoyed that members only.
You will again, Pretty Richie. Sorry.
We hope you enjoyed that members only reaction. I'm like Kev Owens. I want to super chat title. Yeah, you did, Pretty Richie, and you can get it again.
You ain't even a member right now, son. What's up with that?
You can get it again. So don't worry about that. To our subscribers, thank you so much for being who you are.
Yes.
Because we wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for each and every one of you.
Absolutely.
We are trying to get up there. We want to get up to them Just Alex numbers. We climbing.
About to go.
We want to double our subscribership by the end of the year. And please tell a friend.
Hey, Chris Wrestling Views.
Tell a family member. What up, Chris Wrestling Views? We will see you all tomorrow. If you're new here, hope you enjoyed it. It's a bop.
It's a bop.
We have a good time, and it's all love. It's all family.
Yep.
To every person that super chatted, reached deep down into that pocket and said, because we love, we will show that love with your donations. Please know it doesn't just go to what you see here. It doesn't just go to championship belts. We give back. Y'all already know. Let me go ahead and bring it out to you like this. If you don't know, now you know.
Wrestling. Love
we
you guys too.
are in fact supporting a young man by the name of Azel. This is where some of the donations go to supporting this young man. And we are also donating to organizations St. Jude Children's Hospital, World Vision, Hope to Mission, and Compassion.
Yep.
So we are making sure that we are giving back and paying it forward, and we would not be able to do that without your generosity. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
So very, very much. We appreciate that. You all mean the world to us, guys. Wish me luck. Tomorrow's Dr. Bone and left arm. I hear you. I got a couple of doctor's appointments this week. You tore your rotator cuff. I am praying for you.
Oh,
because that sucks.
Yeah, it does.
That sucks. But you're going to come back bigger, better, stronger, and you're going to cornhole those fools in the dirt.
In the dirt.
I promise you that. We sincerely hope that we are number one in your hearts because you all for dang sure are number one in ours.
That's right.
Thank y'all so much for calling and joining A&B Combos Wrestling Edition from Monday Night Raw's live review.
Check out our podcast. It drops tomorrow on all streaming platforms. If you want to see the video, you got to be a member, and then you could check it out on video.
That's what we're talking about right there. And until next time, folks, we will bid you all
adieu.
All right, time for the channel mascots. We love y'all. Good night.